Mental health is complex and is influenced by a wide variety of factors, including sleep, stress, exercise, genetics, early life experiences, trauma, and one very important but often overlooked factor, nutrition. New research suggests that what we eat every day can affect both our mood and our anxiety levels. In fact, whether you're already someone taking an antidepressant or simply someone with mild undiagnosed anxiety, nutrition matters. My name is Dr. Mary Sco. I'm a family medicine resident at Women's College Hospital, and I'm going to share my top 5 tips for using food to improve your mental health. The most obvious and common sense piece of nutrition advice that you could probably get from your mom is to eat more vegetables. There are many reasons why vegetables are healthy, and when it comes to mental health, vegetables are particularly helpful because they supply certain vitamins and minerals that, when lacking from our diets, can increase risk for depression. The connection between these nutrients and mental health may be due to their antioxidant capabilities, as research has shown that people with depression tend to have decreased antioxidant levels. Notably, dark green leafy vegetables like spinach, Swiss chard, watercress, and mustard greens, as well as cruciferous vegetables including cauliflower, cabbage, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts, deliver the highest concentration of these particular nutrients. Canada's Food Guide recommends that half of every meal should be comprised of vegetables and fruits. So it's a good idea to eat lots of vegetables every day, especially those dark green leafy and cruciferous ones. Another group of foods with benefits for mental health are fiber-rich foods, which includes vegetables as well as beans, nuts, and seeds. This is because of fiber's effect on the bacteria in our gut and the influence of those bacteria on our brains. It's a little-known fact that we all carry approximately 2 pounds of bacteria around inside of us, and within those 2 pounds is a mix of both good and bad bacteria. Whenever you eat, you are not just feeding you. You're also feeding the trillions of bacteria that live inside of you. And while certain foods feed good bacteria, other foods feed bad bacteria. Good bacteria love to eat fiber. So whenever you eat fiber, your good bacteria also eat fiber, and they share their excitement by sending signals to the immune cells that live next door. Those immune cells then respond by releasing their own signals that travel throughout the bloodstream, eventually reaching our brains, where they can influence both our mood and our anxiety levels. It's recommended that we should eat 25 to 35 grams of fiber per day. You can easily achieve this by adding one fiber-rich food to every meal. This could be a cup of oats in the morning, an apple for a snack, a bowl of lentils at lunch, a cup of spinach alongside your dinner, and some berries for dessert. Whether it's walnuts, almonds, or even pistachios, nuts are helpful for mental health because they're high in fiber and rich in those antioxidant nutrients that we've already discussed. And that's not all. There's also this other theory that may explain why nuts are so special. There is a molecule called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, which you can think of as fertilizer for brain cells. We know that patients with depression often have lower levels of BDNF, and research has shown that a healthy diet supplemented with nuts can increase BDNF levels. So for many reasons, a daily handful of nuts is a very nutritious choice for your brain. It should also be mentioned that certain nuts, like walnuts, are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, bringing me to my next tip. Omega-3 fatty acids are a special type of fat that we all need to eat every day because 20% of our brain is made from omega-3s. Not to mention, omega-3s also feed those good bacteria. So, it's not a surprise that eating omega-3 rich foods is associated with decreased risk for depression. While there aren't a ton of dietary sources of omega-3s, you can get them from certain types of fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, herring, and sardines, as well as crushed flax seeds, walnuts, and chia seeds. So, to improve your mental health, it's a good idea to eat walnuts, crushed flax seeds, or chia seeds on a daily basis, as well as fatty fish twice per week. We've talked a lot about the foods that you should eat to promote mental health. But we haven't addressed the foods that should be avoided. One very problematic group of foods is refined carbohydrates and sugars. Many studies have shown that eating sugar and refined carbs is associated with increased risk for both anxiety and depression. In fact, of all the tips discussed here, this is the one that you'll probably feel the greatest effect of, even after as little as a few days. That's because when we eat too much sugar or large quantities of refined carbs, our blood sugar levels spike and then crash, which can put us on edge and leave us feeling nervous and worried. This is not to say that you should never eat treats. It's just important to be mindful of both the frequency and portion that you consume. There are also a few tricks for mitigating these effects. First, always combine sugar and refined carbs with either protein or fat. Eat them earlier in the day as opposed to later in the day, and ensure that you exercise more on the days when you eat these foods. Optimizing mental health requires a multi-pronged approach, which can include nutrition. If you're looking to improve your mental health with nutrition, a good place to start is by talking with a registered dietitian, who can help you implement these recommendations into your existing diet. For more information and resources, please see the links in the video description below.